the video. Alright, so this part is different because all the other Half-Life runs, they just started at the door. So when the first one, when Think Circle did his, it just started at the door because this place is just really boring. You just sit inside this tram for a long time, and it just added to the video file size and made it boring, and just sort of took away from the run, so we didn't have it. But we added it back in here, so it's sort of just to, you know, get a sense of what it was in the original game, I guess. So
yeah.
I think that it was actually Spider Waffle's idea to put this back in here. He wanted to have it, and so
Yeah,
we had a.
Well, was it my idea? I can't remember. I think someone else had an idea about this, about showing... It was actually Dopefish that gave me this idea, yeah. He did a run on Half-Life before, and he had this idea to film some sort of intro where you'd have like shots of the tram ride and going, and I thought it was a pretty good idea, so we actually implemented it. And RandomEngy was the one who did all the filming for the intro here. He used a lot of like no clipping, going outside the tram and then letting it, getting ahead of it and watching it.
Bunch of hack together scripts and everything to look around. And I think someone else made this Gordon Scientist model that we used. It actually did model editing to get this in here.
Yeah, that was nice of him. Yeah, I included him in the credits for the video.
Yeah, it's funny, like a lot of these places you're not supposed to be able to see outside. You're supposed to be inside the tram, and so I have to do all these shots where you can't tell that it's just floating above or below the track. So I sort of try to obscure it with the rail or just these weird angles here.
It was nicely done.
Thanks. I think that you wanted this shot where he looks at the G-Man there.
Yeah, because the G-Man is sort of a motif of Half-Life.
Yeah, and so this whole run is like, what, 190 something segments?
Yeah, 190 I think.
Yeah. I think it's a bit more than the previous ones, but you can sort of tell by the amount of perfection that goes into it. Now, I thought it was funny here because you get just this slow pace of Gordon just, you know, walking around right down, you know, with Barney just at this slow pace. But when the actual run starts, it's just, you know, completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this one was tricky.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think it worked out pretty well. This is the going from my shot to the start of the run. I think it went pretty smoothly.
Yeah. I just got the idea for like bunny hopping inside that little chamber there to build up speed after like a long time of not doing that. I just kind of thought, and I found I was a little faster.
Yeah, you can tell you put in a lot of thought to this thing. Yeah, it's sort of like the increase in segments allows you to do a lot of tricks you couldn't be able to do with fewer segments.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I was just wondering, I didn't know what bunny hopping method you used. I used the 3-hop script.
3-hop script? Yeah, I think I use, it was like 4 or 5 or something for speedrunning, yeah. In like TFC,
okay, so
I use a 3-hop.
Much different.
Yeah, I couldn't get the special one to work on base Half-Life. I don't know why, but I just used,
I think I tried around a bit, but you know I've been using 3-hop for a while, and it just worked out enough. Yeah, I like this part. You just sort of get it to where they push them to where they're exactly in front of the optical scanners.
Yeah.
You don't have to run so far. I think they did this in my run. I think Dopefish originally did this, but I didn't get him quite as close to the scanners as you did.
Yeah, this scientist is really the one that matters most, because he's got to walk over there before you can use him again. So I'm just trying to get him to face the scanner right now.
Yeah, I guess so. One example, I recorded this whole run with fraps rather than the traditional way of doing it with the start movie. Now, we will lose some frames with it, but the one advantage is you actually get to see their mouths talk right. There's a bug with doing it the other way, where they just sort of, keep their mouths shut and you hear sound coming out.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I think, was this the one part where, like, you could have potentially saved, like, 2 seconds on the run if you stay up on this light to avoid the teleport triggers?
Yeah. Instead of blocking the scientist in the doorway, you can just completely skip doing that, so it saves about 3 seconds, I think.
Yeah, is that I think that's the only cut I know of that didn't make it into the run, besides the infinite health door stuff, which doesn't really count, in my opinion.
Well, there's some few other things I could think of, but not a whole lot, really.
Do you make a segment here just to show off?
Yeah, this whole room was like done in 3 segments because I wanted to make it a little more entertaining.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Gives you something to look at, especially if you've seen the other runs as well, and you're just sort of waiting for it. It's the most dull part, mostly, in any of the runs. So it's a train ride. Yeah,
this part takes a
basically
while.
memorize a lot of the dialogue that's happening here. Happened quite a lot. Actually, I think in my run, I actually had an entire segment that's from the start of the run, and it was still going at this point. So it was like, the first segment was like 5 minutes long.
Yeah. Oh, we finally get the sample.
Here it comes, here it comes.
I use push it diagonally so it goes faster.
Oh, interesting. Alright, I never knew that. So is this other side, you push him out here for bait?
Yeah, I don't know. That guy didn't matter much. I was just having some fun with him.
Okay. Yeah, because I know you have to keep the...
Yeah, you have to keep this alien slave occupied. I think I was originally gonna like try and land on his head, but I overshot it and jumped over him.
Yeah, because if you don't keep his attention, he's gonna shoot the scientist and die, and the door closes, right?
Right.
His draw was fire. I think originally here, I waited until unforeseen consequences loaded, and then I jumped up, but or here you jump up and you're on the sill when it loads, so you start that green lightning earlier, right?
Yep. And if you notice, I move a little bit to the right. That's because there's like a little ledge there when the new area loads, so you have to move a little bit to the right.
Alright.
Took a bit of damage there on accident. I didn't realize it until after I was a few segments into past that, and then. But then there was there's still enough.
I always thought that was intentional. I thought you had planned it out that you could have those 2 health points.
Yeah, like there's enough health, but actually, if I didn't take that damage, I could have saved a little time by not having to get those med kits after the long fall onto the ladder, which comes up later.
Yeah, that segment right there I like that. Just jumping through all that, crouching through, not losing speed.
That jump to land straight through that hole was really hard.
I think here's the first instance of object boosting.
Yeah, off that little barrel.
This is the first run where it's really used. And that saved a lot of time, jumping over that bridge. I mucked around
30
with,
seconds.
jumping on boxes and whatnot on my run.